Hi yo neighbors, it's Mike Bass Talk Bass. Look me up here on Mike Fred Bass on YouTube or Micah Fredericks, MIKA FREDERICKS on Facebook. Like my page. As you can tell, clothes had to change through a handful of videos, so I'm just covering a number of different topics real quick. I talked about some compression stuff. I'm going to talk about some different things. I'm going to talk about something that every bass player, in my opinion, should know and do, but none of them know and do it. It's the sound check. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, having done sound a little bit and being a bass player. It's the sound check for a bass player. What most bass players do when they're sitting at a club or something like that, they say, okay, a sound guy comes on out through the PA and says, all right, give me some drums, and they spend 25 minutes on drums. Give me some guitars. They go through every conceivable possible sound the guitar player may be using that night and get that all set up. Then it comes to bass, and bass player goes, and they come back real quick, okay, thanks, great, got it. Well, basically what that sound guy did is basically turned you up, heard you play for a couple seconds, and then just basically said, okay, this is going to be whatever, and he's not going to do much for you. That's a problem. Bass players, my experience, your mileage may vary, your opinion may vary. The sound guy may even ask you to do something different. I have been sound checking the way I'm going to show you here now for probably a good 10 plus years. And the reason I did this was I had a sound guy dig into my crap about what I was doing for sound check. Again, a lot of bass players, for whatever reason, they say, okay, they'll go through their whole sound check thing. All right, give me some bass, and they'll start. That's how they'll sound check, or something to that effect. They'll start playing all over the place. They'll start going bananas. They'll start playing, and I've seen it with country guys, I've seen it with rock guys, I've seen it with R&B guys, I've seen it with, not so much with jazz guys playing upright, but I've seen it with electric jazz guys. I've seen it in all ways, shapes, and forms of bass. Starts to drive me nuts now that when pretty much I got my crap chewed out about it. This, in my opinion, is how you should sound check. When I get asked to sound check at a gig, this is what I do. Pretty much you get the point. Then I may play a little bit, but usually it doesn't even get that far. I get through playing a bunch of open notes, or I'll do get through that, and I have actually had sound checks for bass where, sorry, give me some bass, longer doing that than I have heard bassers who are much better than me or worse or whatever, and even myself, of just playing and noodling a bunch of notes. I've had a sound guy work and I've just me for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, just dialing stuff in, getting it sounding really nice, doing whatever he needs to do. It has been with a variety of basses, from Sadowski to Warwick to this Carvin to my Valente to my Fenders to whatever. My Fideras, name it. I've sound checked like this, and it's been the same thing. So I'm not going to say, well, it's the bass. They need more time with this bass. They need more time with that bass. There have been times I've done it, and 15 seconds later, guy says, man, that sounds great. Perfect. Thank you very much. What the sound guy is trying to do, he's trying to control energy. And what I mean trying to control energy, the bass has a very broad, wide, massive dynamic to it. It takes up a lot of space in the mix. It produces a lot of energy. Low-end bass produces a lot of energy. And the only thing a sound man is trying to do is control that. By you going noodling all over the place and doing what you do does not help his cause, because he's not really hearing what you're doing. Again, I've seen gigs where guys have just played the notes, and they might not even be playing that fast, and they're playing all over the place. And that's not how they play on the gig, so it's not giving a good representation of what's supposed to be happening. Subsequently, the sound guy is just going to do whatever. you give him just some solid notes like that, he understands what your bass is sounding like, what you're giving him, how much space it's going to take up potentially, where is he going to be able to fit this in the mix. You may play straight through like that, and then you may say, hey, all right, man, why don't you just play a little bit, let me get an idea of what you're going to be doing, or give me some other stuff. I wouldn't give him any more than what just those whole notes on open strings, especially on a 5-string, because he wants to know what that low B is going to sound like. That's going to do some serious damage to his mix if he doesn't get it dialed in. So he wants to hear that. He doesn't want to hear you slapping on it. I mean, if you're on an R&B gig where you're slapping all the time, yes, you give him some of that, but initially, give him just some notes to kind of get stuff working for him. That's my little rant about sound checks. I would hope that maybe you would try it at a gig. Like I said, again, your mileage may vary. The opinions listed down below in the comments, they're probably going to be all over the map. Some people may agree with me, but some people may say I'm nuts. But the bottom line is, more sound guys will thank you than anything else if that's how you sound check. So just give it a shot, see what happens, and hopefully that'll work out for you better in the mix, and you will be heard. So there you have it. Thanks.